Okay, sorry it cut out. So, we were just looking at how to go from 5 cups of flour to 3 3/4. We had to times it, or we would have to times it by 4/3. To go from 2 teaspoons to 2.5 teaspoons, we would have had to times it by 4/5, okay? So remember how I did that was I just took the 5 right here and divided it by 3.75 to find the difference, okay? That's all I did, is I wanted to find the difference between these two. Then we took the 2 and divided it by 2.5 to find the difference. And these values are different, okay? So no, it is not similar. Let's look here. To go from 1 egg to 3 egg, I would have to times it by 3. To go from 1 cup of flour to 3 cups of flour, I would have had to times it by 3. But let's look here. To go from 2 cups to 7 cups, well, what is 2 times 3? That's 6. 6 doesn't match 7. I would have to times by something different than 3 to get 7. So, remember, all of these have to be the same. We have to times by the same number every single time for it to be similar. Since we're not doing that, it is also not similar. Okay, they're both not similar. Okay, so we just got to find that difference. What is the difference between the two? Okay, let's look at the last couple ones. We can use the properties of similar triangles to find missing side lengths. So again, we talked about how the side lengths are the same. They're just all multiplied by a certain factor, but they all have to be multiplied by that same factor. So we took this side length 12, we multiplied it by a certain number and got 36. They match up. We would take side length 8, multiply it by that same factor, and would get whatever value this is, okay? So, let me just write the ratios. So 12 and 36, those are together. If we divided those, we would find whatever we're multiplying by, okay? That number that we're trying to multiply by has to be the same as whatever this is multiplied, or this divides out to be. Okay? It's just ratios. I'm doing the same thing I did here. I took one side, divided it by the other side to find what number I multiplied it by. Same thing here. I took one side, divided it by the other side to find what I multiplied by. Okay? I'm doing the same thing right here. One side, the 12, to the other side. Okay? Now, have we heard of cross multiplication? Do you remember that at all? Where if I multiply these things across from each other, it equals what these things are multiplied together? Some of us might have remembered that. So let's do that. Let's go 12 times 3x minus 9. We're also going to go 36 times 8. All I did was cross multiply these and write it out. Well, how do I multiply these two together? So remember, we have to do our distributing. So 12 times 3, we're going to get 36x. And then we have to go 12 times 9. And it's a negative 9, so we're going to have a negative. And then, let's see, 2 times 9, 18. There we go. Okay, so we get 108 equals, and then we got to do the other side. So we have to do 36 times 8, and we get 288. So now, still to solve for x, we need to get the x alone. So in order to do that, Let's add 108 to both sides. So I got 36x equals 396. Okay, so then we take the 396. Well, we still have to get the x alone, so we still have to get rid of that 36. And so we take 396 and we're going to divide it by 36. So 396 divided by 36. Let me write that there. That one I'm going to have to type in my calculator because I have no idea off the top of my head. It equals 11. So that's what x equals, okay? That's how we can solve for it. By first writing our ratios and then doing some cross multiplication. So let's try it on this next one together. Okay, it says that the triangle ABC, so the one I have in yellow, is similar to the triangle AST, the one I have in red. So since they're similar, they'll have that ratio. So this side length of 60, we can compare it to the long one up here, and it gives it us up here 6x plus 24. Those are going to be similar. We got to see what factor they times by. And that equals 70, which is our smaller triangle, which has been dilated or times by a factor to get to the distance of 126. Okay? So we use our cross multiplication. So I really have 60 times 126 equals 70 times 6x plus 24. So we can times those together and times those together. So let's use our calculator. So 60 times 126 gives us 7,560. And then if we do the other side, we have to do 70 and we have to times 6 to give us 420x. And then we go 70 times 24, which gives us 106 or 1,680. So now we got to keep solving for x, get x by itself. So minus that 1,680 from both sides. So we got 7,560 minus 1,680 gives us 5,880. And then we gotta still get x alone, so we're gonna divide by 420. So x equals 14. Okay? I know those are a little bit harder, but just have your ratios and use the cross multiplication. So now you can work on that pink paper, your homework. You're gonna have to do the whole thing.